Spartans of the NCAA Division I program. As Sam O'Reilly of the Syracuse Crunch feeds it up to Ty Toledo of the Tucson Roadrunners. Shot there goes wide. And we welcome him in to the 2026 ESE All-Star Challenge from Suburban Ice Arena in Rochester, Michigan. We're about 45 minutes northwest of Motown, Detroit, here in Rochester, in the Great Lakes State of Michigan. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club. And you just missed Max Serbic of the Rochester Americans putting Team Sparty on top 1-0. As Andrew Gibson of the Milwaukee Admirals sends the puck in, now collected there by Isaac Howard. The Edmonton Oiler brings it in. Howard now over to Serbic. Serbic with a shot was blocked by Owen Lepak. Lepak had it knocked away. And now picked up by Isaac Howard, the Edmonton Oilers. Howard pressured there, knocked off the puck by the 34, big Andrew Gibson of the Milwaukee Admirals. Feeds it across over to Cody Sokol. Sokol has a shot knocked away. And now collected there by the 87 of Tiernan Shouty. Shouty along with twin brother Travis Shouty. Where's number 7? Feeds it into his twin brother Shouty. Feeds it across over to Howard. The shot was blocked. And a puck set down in the neutral zone. Going to be collected there by Michael Underwood of the Maine Mariners of the ECHL. Feeds it back. And collected by Travis Shouty. Just got an opportunity there. Feeds it back over to Isaac Howard of the Edmonton Oilers. Colin Potter stepped into Shouty's space there. And Shouty had it knocked away. Picked up there by the 44 of Logan Malou. Malou to St. Louis Blues. Feeds it up. The Teddy Spitznagel and Shouty scores! Spitznagel with the pass over to Cody Sokol. And Sokol makes it 1-0. The Waterloo Blackhawk, USHL, Tier 1 Junior Hockey, ties his game with 4:15 and counting remaining here in the first half. Face-off one there by Team Shawty's. Now collected by the 24, Colin Potter. Potter had to take it away by Cody Sokol. Just made it 1-1. Shot as he was going down, goes up high and wide. Collected there by big Logan Malou. Malou with a shot was steered away by Soderberg. Cody Sokol feeds it over to the 61 of Blake Barnes of the Niagara Ice Dogs of the OHL. And stolen away there by Colin Potter. Potter now will bring it in. The Michigan State Spartan feeds it back over to Dan Russell. Former Spartan now with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins in the American Hockey League. Puck kept in. Nice job there by Matt Bastiel. And a shot goes by Dan Russell high and wide. Now breakaway potentially for Max Sasson with a shot. Now he gets another shot off. So patted away by Freddie Soderberg. And it comes back to Evan Suffokitis. Suffokitis now trying to get away, and Suffokitis gets it back, courtesy of Andrew Gibson. Back over to Suffokitis. And a shot there by Andrew Gibson, gloved down by Freddie Soderberg. Freddie Soderberg, former Metro Jet for 2 years. Aged out of junior hockey, has spent the last 3 seasons with the Fitchburg State Falcons NCAA Division III program. Home game of sorts for Soderberg, now 24-year-old from Harrison Township, Michigan. And his teammates win the draw, picked up by Carson Dorwat. Dorwat feeds it back over to Tiernan Shouty. Shouty back now to Travis Shouty. Had it knocked away. Comes back to Carson Dorwat. Dorwat feeds it over to Shouty. Shouty back to the point. Knocked away on the neutral zone and picked up by Sam O'Reilly, who tried to feed it up to Max Sasson. Was knocked away, and here comes Shouty the other way. Feeds it to Carson Dorwat of the Philadelphia Flyers. Dorwat trying to send it across to Tiernan Shouty. It was knocked away and picked up by Team Barnes. 1-1 tie. Max Sasson tried to was attempting to wrap around, was forced to the outside by Tiernan Shouty. And now picked up by Max Serbic of the Rochester Americans. Again, this Team Shouty club, all former or current Michigan State Spartans NCAA Division I program. And puck comes across over these other two. Shouty with a shot was knocked away by the 44 Logan Malou. Malou knocks it away from Isaac Howard, and now here comes Team Barnes the other way. Ty Toledo. Toledo from the two-side road on a shot off the top side of the net. May have caught a piece of the helmet of Freddie Soderberg. 1-1 tie. Comes back to the 44. Malou, a shot saved by Soderberg. Soderberg kicks it away before an opportunity arose there for the 41 Cody Sokol. Comes back to Sokol. Sokol with feed. And right into the paraphernalia of Freddie Soderberg. Off the shot there with 45 seconds and counting remaining here in the first half. Point blank opportunity by Ty Toledo. Again, it's 8-minute halves. All 6 teams here in the Pro Division of the 2026 ESE Hockey All-Star Challenge will play each other here in the next 90 minutes. Games going on simultaneously. You're on Ring 2 here at Suburban Ice Arena. Another shot there goes wide. Time winding down as the horn sounds to end the first half. One tie. Take a quick 30-second break. And we'll come back for the second half of this game. Coming up next, Team Barnes currently wearing the black. They'll stay on the ice, and they'll play Team Brincat, which is absolutely loaded with NHL players. 3 Detroit Red Wings on the roster. The 2026 Norris Trophy winner, Zach Werenski, is on that roster as well. And Team Brincat will be coming up next. Appreciate you tuning in on ESE Hockey's YouTube channel, the 2026 ESE Hockey All-Star Challenge from Suburban Ice Arena in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Teams have now switched sides. Team Sparty wearing the white uniforms with a black and red trim, black, red, and gray trim. There we go. They're skating left-right on your YouTube dial. Oh, Team Sparty. They're wearing the white uniforms with a white, gray, and red trim. They'll be skating left to right on your television dial. Puck center now, a breakaway almost by Isaac Howard as the Edmonton Oiler tries to stave off the advances of Cody Sokol of the Waterloo Blackhawks. Talent from as high as the National Hockey League all the way down to high school hockey is here today amongst the 6 teams. This is Team Sparty wearing the white uniforms. Team Barnes wearing the black uniforms. Head coach is Todd Sparty for the team in white, while Ryan Barnes, head coach for the team in black. Cohen Potter trying to feed it across. It is 4-on-4 hockey for the 2 8-minute halves. Picked up there by the 7 of Travis Sparty with a side angle shot, and Owen Leapax knocks it out. Collected there by the 5 of Mason Benedict of the Springfield Junior Blues, the North American Hockey League. Mentioned players from all over. Talent levels from all across the gauntlet of professional hockey down to junior hockey. And as we mentioned, even one player we're going to see later on today plays high school in his native state of Connecticut. Carson Dorwat with the puck, feeds it across over to Dan Russell with a shot. Back over to Dorwat, was knocked away by the 61 of Blake Barnes. Off the shoulder there of goaltender Owen Leapack of the Youngstown Phantoms of the USHL. Tier 1 junior hockey. Picked up by Travis Sparty. Sparty feeds it up. The 20 of Dan Russell, who's knocked away. Comes back over to Sparty. Travis Sparty had it knocked away by the 20 of Teddy Spitznagel. One of the few times you're going to see OHL players and USHL players on the same ice. Sam O'Reilly had it knocked away. Now picked up by Sparty. Picked up by Matt Baskal. Baskal, the San Diego goal, left it there. Picked it off the post, so the shot there. And Owen Lepak's best friend, the goal, the crossbar saves it from keeping this game at a 1-1 tie. Now knocked away. Here comes Max Sasson of the Vancouver Canucks. Sasson looking for and finds the 36 at tie to Leo. Sasson feeds it across, shot there up high on Soderberg. And knocked away by the 36. Ty Talillo, excuse me. Time winding down, 4:30 and counting remaining here in the second half. 1-1 tie. As Tierman Shouty had it knocked away, goes all the way back down into the Shouty zone. Caught there by Michael Underwood of the Maine Mariners. Underwood up to Max Sturbeck. Sturbeck feeds it across. The 44 of Isaac Howard. Howard had it knocked away by Andrew Gibson of the Milwaukee Admirals of the American Hockey League. Sturbeck trying to feed it up to Isaac Howard. That was knocked away by the 41 of Cody Sokol. Sokol now, who's got the lone goal for Team Barnes. Had it knocked away. Here comes Team Shouty with the puck. That is number 7 of Travis Shouty. Trying to get it over to twin brother Tiernan Shouty, but here comes Barnes the other way. 41 Sokol, backhand shot. Just caught the top glove for Freddie Soderberg. Here comes Team Shouty the other way. Picked up by the 8 of Max Sturbeck. Sturbeck now over to the 44 of Isaac Howard. Howard, one of 2 National Hockey League players on his Team Shouty roster. The other, in addition to Isaac Howard, is Carson Dorwad of the Philadelphia Flyers. He wears number 58, and a shot there is drifted up high and wide. 3 minutes and counting remaining here in the second half. One tie. Remember, 2 8-minute halves. These games will go quick. All 6 Pro Division teams will play each other in a round-robin format. The top 4 teams with the best record will be seeded 1 through 4, with 1 playing 4, 2 playing 3. Later on tonight, the winners of those will play for the title. Blake Barnes with a shot, trying to feed it up. The 5 of Mason Benedict. Now Benedict's got to go after it, being chased down. And collected by Shouty. Over to Cullen Potter. Potter with a shot was deflected. And it comes back to Matt Baskal. Baskal had it taken away by the 61 of Blake Barnes. As Baskal with the puck. Time winding down. 1:50 to go here in the second half. 1-1 tie. These games will go quick. 2 8-minute halves. Picked up there by Underwood. Underwood feeds it over to Travis Shouty. Shouty will bring it in. Being flanked there by the 61 of Blake Barnes. Comes back to the 6 of Michael Underwood, trying to stick his way through, but was knocked away by Mason Benedict. Benedict feeds it over to Logan Malou. The defenseman for the St. Louis Blues. One of 2 National Hockey League players on the Team Barnes roster, along with the 25 of Max Sasson. As Michael Underwood feeds it over to the 58 of Carson Dorwad, the Philadelphia Flyers. Pass there by Dan Russell, went nowhere. Now Dorwad picks it up, feeds it up to the point, knocked away by the 26 of Sam O'Reilly. Now he'll feed it up to the 20 of Teddy Spitznagel. The shot was blocked. And now here comes Team Shouty the other way. Max Sturbeck feeds it up to Matt Baskal. Baskal knocks it over into the corner, picked up by Carson Dorwad of the Philadelphia Flyers. Dorwad now at the blue line. Had it knocked away. Now a chance for Team Barnes. Sam O'Reilly with a shot. Deflected off the now with a stick of Freddie Soderberg. 20 seconds left here in the second half. Tiernan Shouty Had it knocked away, picked up there by the 20 of Teddy Spitznagel. Spitznagel with a shot. Partial block there by the 8 of Matt Serbeck. Spitznagel running out of time. 5 seconds left. Sam O'Reilly trying to feed it out in front. Knocked away. Great defensive play by Tiernan Shoddy. That's going to do it. 1-1 tie. Here in game number 1 on rink number 2. So both teams getting a half point. And we'll go to a shootout to decide this one. Cody Sokol of the Waterloo Blackhawks, the USHO, goes up. Oh, he's supposed to go the other way. Both goalie tenders wearing white uniforms. So Cody Sokol of the Waterloo Blackhawks, the USHL, will go one-on-one with Freddie Soderberg of the Fitchburg State Falcons, NCAA Division III program. Sokol's already scored on Soderberg once. He'll go to his blocker's side ever so slowly. Looks for an opening. Shot and he scores! Cody Sokol makes it 1-0 for Team Barnes. Now it's Carson Dorwat's turn of the Philadelphia Flyers. He'll go one-on-one with Owen Lepak of the Youngstown Phantoms of the USHL. NHL player against a junior hockey player. Dorwat will stay right through center ice. And nice shot and a save. The pad there by Owen Lepak. The Youngstown Phantom of the USHL stops the National Hockey League player. It's 1-0. Team Barnes. Big stop there by Owen Lepak of the Youngstown Phantoms. Now Freddie Soderberg is going to have to try and stop the form. Well, it was like Cody Sokol is going to go right back out. Shootout rules a little bit relaxed here at the ESE Hockey All-Star Challenge. Backhand shot, and he turns Freddie Soderberg inside out to make it 2-0. So now Dan Russell, the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins of the American Hockey League. We'll see if he can put one past Owen Lepak. This could be the game. It's on the stick of Dan Russell, former Michigan State Spartan. The shot and he scores! 2-1. So now Team Barnes, if they score, game over. And Sokol's going to go for the hat trick in the shootout. Possibly. Or is that it? And I believe that's going to do it. 2-1. Final score. So Team Barnes wins 2-1. So the next game coming up, Team Barnes will stay on the ice. And they will play a team that is absolutely loaded, Team DeBrincat. So Team Barnes wins by a score of 2-1. So Team Barnes will stay in the black uniforms. Team DeBrincat in the white unis. All the teams have warmed up earlier today. We go right to the face-off. Starting in goal for Team DeBrincat. It is the New England College Pilgrim NCAA Division III program. Danny Miscavige from Mount Clemens, Michigan, former Metro Jet in goal. He'll go up against Owen Lepak of the Youngstown Phantoms for Team Barnes. We're underway. The names are going to sound real familiar. as Norris Trophy winner Zach Werenski feeds it across. Over for the 20 of Cam Fowler to St. Louis Blues, picked up by Werenski. Zach Werenski, the Norris Trophy winner of the Columbus Blue Jackets, had it taken away by the 34 of Andrew Gibson of the Milwaukee Admirals. Every single skater on the ice for Team DeBrincat plays in the National Hockey League. Only 2 NHLers on Team Barnes. The only non-NHLer on Team DeBrincat is the goaltender, Danny Miscavige, former Metro Jet. Currently plays the New England Pilgrims NCAA Division III program. Puck steered across there, was knocked away by Jack Studnicka. And now here comes Barnes. But Team Barnes may have the advantage here as they've been on the ice. They're warmed up. Team DeBrincat coming in cold. And now picked up by Jack Studnicka. The Florida Panthers with a shot. And Owen Lepak makes the save. Couple Detroit Red Wings on the ice. Includes the 16 of Emmett Finney. Just completed his rookie season for the Detroit Red Wings. Broken stick. Picked up. Jack Studnicka trying to feed it across over to the 13 of Cole Caulfield of the Montreal Canadiens. Now Studnicka up to the 16 of Emmett Finney. Finney feeds it across for Trevor Zegras. Zegras now over to Caulfield. Caulfield feeds it back to the 41 of Studnicka. Studnicka, the Florida Panthers, feeds it up. Picked up there by Zegras. Over to Caulfield with a shot. He scores! Cole Caulfield, the Montreal Canadiens with a goal. 1-0 Team DeBrincat. Jordan Osterley comes on the ice for Team DeBrincat. Where's number 3? There is Alex DeBrincat. And taking the face-off for Team DeBrincat, it's Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings. Larkin and DeBrincat on a line. Defensive pairing. Jordan Osterley, the Nashville Predators. Zach Werenski, the Columbus Blue Jackets. DeBrincat now brings it in off the pass from Larkin. Knocked away. Werenski retreats. Zach Werenski now over to DeBrincat. Feeds it back over to Werenski. Werenski brings it in with a shot just wide of the net. Dylan Larkin's got to go back after it. Being chased down by the 5 of Mason Benedict. Feeds it up to DeBrincat. The former Chicago Blackhawk found himself a home here with the Detroit Red Wings. Larkin now over to Jordan Osterley. Osterley to Werenski. Zach Werenski with the puck. Over to Larkin, back to DeBrincat, who's got a little bit of space. Feeds it across to a wide open Werenski with a shot knocked away by Andrew Gibson. And Gibson fires it in. The neutral zone picked up by Werenski. Team DeBrincat goes on a line change. Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues couldn't handle the pass, being pressured there by Cody Sokol and knocked away by the 20 of Teddy Spitznagel. Spitznagel, the Ottawa 67s. Future NHLer with a shot was blocked there by the 20 of Fowler. Comes back, the shot there by Andrew Gibson was knocked away and picked up by Emmett Finney. Finney out there on the line with Jack Studnicka of the Florida Panthers. Trevor Zegras of the Philadelphia Flyers. And Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues on the line for Team DeBrincat. Finney leaves it there for the 41 of Studnicka. Now to Zegras. Zegras now over to Fowler. Fowler back to was looking for Zegras, but knocked away. And here comes Cody Sokol. Wide open. It's tied to Leo with a shot. He scores! Ty Talillo, the Tucson Roadrunners, the American Hockey League. Slips it past Danny Miscavige, and it's 1-1. .338 and counting remaining here in the first half. For those of you just tuning in, we welcome you to the 2026 Eastside Elite Hockey All-Star Challenge from Suburban Ice Arena in Rochester, Michigan. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club of the National Collegiate Development Conference and the United States Premier Hockey League. Tier 2 and Tier 3 junior hockey team based just down the road, Mount Clemens, Michigan. Studnicka had it knocked away, but was retrieved there by Jordan Osterley. Osterley to Caulfield, who's got the lone goal for Team DeBrincat. Now here comes Team Barnes, 2-on-1. Cody Sokol with the puck, feeds it across. Shot there to Leo with the Goal. 2-1. Ty Leo of the Tucson Roadrunners makes it 2-1. As Team Barnes filled with just a couple NHL players, 2 AHL players, 3 AHL players, everybody else is a junior hockey player on this Team Barnes squad. As Max Sasson, one of the NHL players of the Vancouver Canucks, feeds it across. Got it knocked away. The shot there by Andrew Gibson of the Milwaukee Admirals. Cody Sokol, who scored the game winner in a shootout just a little bit ago against Team Shoddy. Sends it over to Max Sasson. Sasson with a shot, patted away by Danny Miscavige. Picked up by Logan, by Malou. Malou now feeds it across. Shot goes wide. Courtesy of the 34 of Andrew Gibson. Dylan Larkin knocks it away from Cody Sokol. Now here comes Larkin. Cody Larkin bends side, looking for Emmett Finney. Decided to push it up front. Over to Owen Lepak. And Lepak turned it aside. But now Larkin with a shot. Save made by Lepak. Boy, Owen Lepak's made some big stops. One of the Tier 1 junior hockey players on the Team Barnes roster. Just stopped one of the premier National Hockey League players in the world. And here comes Team DeBrincat again. Larkin looking for the feed there by Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues. Fowler comes back with it. 1:05 to go here in the first half. 2-1 to score for Team Barnes. Back over to Larkin with a shot. He scores! Dylan Larkin makes it 2-2 for Team DeBrincat. Cole Caulfield, Dylan Larkin, the goal scorers for Team DeBrincat. Ty Toledo has both goals for Team Barnes. Here comes Caulfield now, feeds it up to Stanika with a shot. Save made by Owen Lepak. You really can't fault Owen Lepak for being a little starstruck right now. The 2 goals scored on him by 2 of the very best, Cole Caulfield and Dylan Larkin. And Caulfield over to Stanika. Stanika now. Back to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat trying to go through 3 Barnes players and got the shot off, and Lepak clubs it down. And the horn is going to sound, and that's going to do it for the first half. 2-2 tie. Team DeBrincat, Team Barnes, Cole Caulfield of the Montreal Canadiens, Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings, your goal scorers for Team DeBrincat. While Ty Toledo, of the Tucson Roadrunners, AHL, American Hockey League. Farm Club of the Utah Mammoth. He scored both goals for Team Barnes after Cody Sokol carried the team on his back in that 2-1 shootout victory over Team Shoddy. Once again, all 6 teams will play a round robin, so his next 90 minutes are going to be awfully busy. So Team DeBrincat, the designated home team for this game, wearing the white uniforms, red, gray, and black trim. They'll be standing left to right on your television screen, while Team Barnes, the designated road team for this game, wearing the black uniforms, white, gray, and red trim. They'll be standing right to left on your ESE Hockey YouTube dial. And here comes Team Barnes. Shot there by Teddy Spitznagel. Puck comes back the other way, led by Cole Caulfield. Caulfield now to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat feeds it across, wide open. Zegras with a goal. Trevor Zegras of the Philadelphia Flyers makes it 3-2. Just a beautiful feed by Alex DeBrincat. And Trevor Zegras of the Philadelphia Flyers makes it 3-2. Picked up there. Jordan Osterley tried to feed it up to Emmett Finney of the Detroit Red Wings. Picked up by Blake Barnes. Barnes of the Niagara Ice Dogs, the Ontario Hockey League. Being pressured there by Emmett Finney. Feeds it back over the 44, Logan Malou. Logan Malou now brings it in. Feeds, was looking for a wide open tie to Leo. But puck comes back the other way. Blake Barnes feeds it up to the 26 of Sam O'Reilly of the Syracuse Crunch of the American Hockey League. Who in turn over to Logan Malou. Malou now. The Toledo shot, he scores! 3-3. Nice feed to Malou. And it's 3-3. Tied to Leo with 2 goals. Logan Malou with a goal for Team Barnes. Cole Caulfield, Dylan Larkin. Trevor Zagras, the goal scorers for Team DeBrincat. And won by Team DeBrincat. Dylan Larkin. Up to Alex DeBrincat, back to Larkin. Larkin will bring it in. Surrounded by a quartet of black uniforms. Larkin sees Trevor Zagras, who scored the last goal for him. Feeds it back to DeBrincat. DeBrincat looking for Zagras, trying to tip it through the legs of Owen Leapak. Back to DeBrincat in the neutral zone. Over to Dylan Larkin. Larkin now. The 41 of Jack Stanika. Stanika. The Florida Panther trying to feed it to Larkin. It bounced over to Zagras. Zagras. Over to Larkin off the pass of Stanika. And Team Barnes collects. Led by the 41 of Cody Sokol. Sokol over to Max Sasson of the Vancouver Canucks. Had it knocked away. Now Dylan Larkin almost was sent on a break. Leapak wisely stays in his net. Larkin. Over to Zagras. Trevor Zagras trying to field Caulfield, but was knocked away by the 25 of Max Sasson of the Vancouver Canucks. Cody Sokol now grabs it. Sokol, the hero of the game of the first game against Team Shoddy. Scoring a shootout game winner as well as a goal in regulation. Sokol through the legs of DeBrincat. Over to Andrew Gibson. A shot there deflected by Sokol. Goes wide. And cross ice pass to DeBrincat in the neutral zone. Looking for it his skates. Pressured there by Evan Safakidis. Emmett Finney now to Jordan Osterley. Osterley to Werenski to Finney. Finney back. Over to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield trying to feed it across to Jordan Osterley of the Nashville Predators. Picked up by Zach Werenski. Werenski now with the puck. Side steps to 34 Andrew Gibson, the Milwaukee Admirals. Waits for reinforcements. Emmett Finney now. Through the legs of Cole Caulfield. But nice pickpocket there by Cam Fowler. 3-3 tie. 3:30 to go here in the second half. Emmett Finney cross-ice pass knocked away by Andrew Gibson. And Zach Werenski's got to go back after it. Werenski pressured by Sokol. Skates around here. Here comes the Norris Trophy winner with a shot. He scores! Off the top of the glove. 2026 Norris Trophy winner Zach Werenski of the Columbus Blue Jackets is giving Team DeBrincat the lead back. Four to 3 now. 2:45 and counting remaining here in the second half. Trevor Zagras now. Up to Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues. Fowler puts on the brakes. Sends it across over to the 41 of Jack Stanika. Wide open Zagras and a shot. Bouncing puck and deflected and scores. Trevor Zagras, second goal of the game. It's 5-3. The score. Trevor Zagras of the Philadelphia Flyers now with 2 goals. Here comes Cody Sokol. Sokol now over to the 20 of Teddy Spitznagel, knocked away to Brinkcat. Almost caught up to the pass by Dylan Larkin. Picked up by Cam Fowler. Fowler now looking for somewhere to go. Started by a trio of black jerseys to Brinkcat. Fed it across to the 41, Jack Stanika. And it bounces in the neutral zone, picked up by Dylan Larkin, the captain of the Detroit Red Wings. Over to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat, fan of the shot, was able to retrieve it. And now picked up there by Stanika. Stanika had it knocked away by Max Sasson, the Vancouver Canucks. And Jordan Osterley goes back after it. For DeBrincat with Caulfield. Back to DeBrincat with a shot deflected wide. Here comes Werenski now on the rebound. Cross ice pass off the backside of Caulfield, and now Sam O'Reilly off to the races on a shot. He scores! Sam O'Reilly, the Syracuse Crunch of the American Hockey League, makes it 5-4 with less than a minute remaining. Important face-off here as Team Barnes has made it a one-goal hockey game, 5-4. Team DeBrincat wins the draw as Fowler off the pass from Werenski to Caulfield. Now back to Werenski. He'll feed it up to Cam Fowler. Fowler leaves it for Emmett Finney. Finney now to Werenski, who scored the fourth goal of the game. Had to retreat back in the neutral zone. Back over to Emmett Finney. 30 seconds left here in the second half. Finney now to Caulfield with a shot, sticked away by Owen Lepak. And it comes back to Zach Werenski in the neutral zone. Back over to Emmett Finney, the Detroit Red Wings. Finney now to Werenski. He's got Caulfield to his left elbow, had it knocked away. Nice defensive play by Andrew Gibson, the Milwaukee Admirals. Now picked up by Sam O'Reilly. O'Reilly now to Andrew Gibson. Gibson feeds it up, 2 seconds left, off the left shoulder of Danny Miscavige in the second. And that's going to do it. Team DeBrincat wins 5-4. Two goals by Trevor Zagras. One goal apiece by Cole Caulfield. As well as Zach Werenski. And Dylan Larkin were your goal scorers. Upcoming next is going to be Team DeBrincat against Team Hawkins. Team DeBrincat will stay on the ice. And we'll have a little fun shootout. Shot goes wide on Cody Sokol. Off of Danny Miscavige. Team DeBrincat wins the game 5-4. And Trevor Zagras of the Philadelphia Flyers will participate in the shootout. Oh, Owen Lepak, and Lepak makes the save. Boy, Owen Lepak's made some good stops here in the shootouts today. This one a little bit for fun. As we await Team Hawkins, who is currently playing on rank 3. So that's why we're having the fun shootout while we wait. Team Hawkins in the midst of a game right now. As Team Hawkins playing Team Bruskevich over on ring 3. As soon as they get done over there, they'll be heading this way. These games, as we mentioned, they will go quick. Round robin in progress. Owen Lepak going to get a well-deserved break for Team Barnes. As Barnes goes 1-1. And we see Team Hawkins just coming across now. So it's Team DeBrincat against Team Hawkins. Not an NHL player to be found on Team Hawkins. But you got 8 ECHL players, 1 NCAA Division I, 1 ACHA college hockey player, and the young man out of Salisbury, Connecticut, plays Connecticut high school hockey. He's going to get the dream of, he's going to live out his dream here in a few minutes as he will play the team full of NHL stars and Team DeBrincat. And this is our first appearance on Rink 2 for Steve Alexi, founder and president of East Side Elite, out of Chesterfield, Michigan, winner of the Stanley Cup with the Pittsburgh Penguins back in 2016 and 2017. Started his NHL career with the Washington Capitals. And currently a member of the Jacksonville Icemen of the ECHL. His team loaded with ECHL players, including fellow Iceman Logan Cockrell, Dalton Duhart of the Worcester Railers, Brandon Hawkins of the Toledo Walleye, Alex Kyle of the Florida Everblades, Mitchell Lewandowski of the Toledo Walleye, also Drake Ribshaw of the Fort Wayne Comets, Mitchell Smith of the Rapid City Rush, and the goaltender from the Saginaw Spirit of the Ontario Hockey League, number 31, Sam DeBlazy. He'll go up against Danny Miscavige of the New England Pilgrims, NCAA Division III hockey. And here we go, Team DeBrincat, Team Hawkins. Keep your eye on the 23 of Joe Lenhard. Wearing the black. Team DeBrincat, the designated home team for this game again. Two big stops by Danny Miscavige. Point blank opportunities by Alex Kyle. And now picked up by Logan Cockrell. Cockrell now with the puck. Cockrell looks, feeds it across, over to Kyle, back to Cockrell. Cockrell now looking for, finds Kyle, but was knocked away by Jack Stanika. Now Stanika will bring it in. Stanika with the DeBrincat to his right elbow, decides to feed it across to Werenski. Now back over to Dylan Larkin. Larkin with a shot, saved by DeBlazy. Larkin gets his own rebound, back over to DeBrincat. Alex DeBrincat brings it in through center ice. What a shot! And swallowed up by Sam DeBlazy. 7 minutes remaining. Team DeBrincat, the home team, wearing the white uniforms. Red, gray, and black trio. They'll be skating right to left in this first half. While Team Hawkins, head coach Andy Alexi. And a goal right off the faceoff for Cam Fowler. Caulfield won the draw. Fowler drives it past Sam DeBlazy. And Team DeBrincat strikes first. They lead 1-0. Team Hawkins, the designated road team in this game, wearing the black uniforms, white, gray, and red trim. They'll be skating left to right on your ECE Hockey YouTube television dial. Almost sent Zagris on a break. Picked up there by Robert Poliski. And offside, the call. Brandon Hawkins tried to feed it over to Mitch Lewandowski, a couple of Toledo Walleye of the ECHL. Draw one by Team Hawkins. Brandon Hawkins trying to send up to Zane Dempsey of the Northern Michigan Wildcats, NCAA Division I college hockey program up in Houghton, Michigan, and Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Trevor Zagris grabs it. Zagris, backhand, cross ice to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield now over, shot to Fowler, looking for his second goal of the game. Knocked away by DeBlazy. And now picked up by Brandon Hawkins. Hawkins sends it up to the 38 of Mitch Lewandowski. Lewandowski had it taken away by Cam Fowler. Fowler now to Trevor Zagris. Zagris trying to feed it. He finds Evan Finney. Finney feeds it across, was looking for Jordan Osterley. Osterley gets it back to Finney with a shot, saved by DeBlazy of the Saginaw Spirit. Here comes Steve Alexi the other way. Alexi will bring it in, sends it up to Brandon Hawkins. Hawkins trying to send it to Robert Poliski of the Lake Superior State Lakers, ACHA Division I program. Caught it there by Brandon Hawkins. Hawkins sidesteps Dylan Larkin. Hawkins with a shot off the helmet of Miscavige. And here comes Zach Wawrinski the other way for Emmett Finney. Larkin heading towards the net. Pass deflected, intended for Wawrinski, now picked up by Logan Cockerell. Cockerell slows things down, brings it into the team to bring cat zone. Shot up high there by the 18 of Dalton Duhart. It was knocked away, and here comes Dylan Larkin. Larkin now the puck, sidesteps the 23 of Joseph Leonard. Leonard now, but wide open, Wawrinski. Over to Larkin, over to the big cat, he scores. Two nothing. Alex DeBrincat with a goal. And as we take a look at the black number 23 in our screen there, that is Joseph Leonard of the Salisbury Crimson Knights, Connecticut High School Hockey. You talk about a player living a dream here today. He's on the ice surrounded by NHLers, including Cam Fowler, who sends it up to Jackson Nickas. Nicking out of DeBrincat. Alex DeBrincat has that knocked away by Lenhard. And DeBrincat had the stick knocked out of his hand, picked up by Logan Cockerell. Cockerell sends it up, backhand shot into the glove of Danny Miscavige. Two nothing. Excuse me. 2:50 and counting remaining here in the first half. Cam Fowler, Alex DeBrincat, the goal scorers. 14 DeBrincat. And Fowler out to Trevor Zagras, who had 2 goals in the 5-4 victory over Team Barnes in the last game. Caulfield now to Zagras. Zagras had knocked away by the 11 of Drake Grimshaw, the Fort Wayne Comets. Zagras takes it back over to Caulfield. Caulfield leads it for Fowler. Cam Fowler at the blue line, sends it over to Zagras. Trevor Zagras, former Anaheim Duck, now with the Philadelphia Flyers. Zagras behind the net, looking for somewhere to go. Soft pass, knocked away. Here comes Alex Kyle of the Florida Everblades. The seemingly never-ending Kelly Cup champions in the ECHL. Had it knocked away, now Emmett Finney brings it in. Finney to Zagras, hopped over his stick. The 11 of Drake Grimshaw lost his footing, tried to get it out, but kept hit by Finney. Finney had his pocket picked by Alex Kyle. And now Kyle sends it up to the 11 of Drake Grimshaw. Grimshaw now with the puck. Cross ice pass over to Alex Kyle, but was knocked away, and here comes Team DeBrincat the other way. Emmett Finney with Dylan Larkin to his right elbow. Had it knocked away. Nice defensive play by Logan Cockerell, the Jacksonville Iceman. Now picked up by Brandon Hawkins with a shot. Miscavige steers that aside. Wawrinski fighting off the 38 of Mitch Lewandowski. Larkin feeds it to Finney. Save made by DeBlazy. Less than a minute remaining here in the first half. Puck comes across, knocked away by Larkin, who feeds Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat with a shot up high on DeBlazy in the Saginaw Spirit. Over to Wawrinski with a drive, goes wide. And now Brandon Hawkins grabs the puck there. Send it to Mitch Lewandowski. Lewandowski back over, was looking for Hawkins, his fellow Toledo Walleye teammate. Backhand shots fought off there by Danny Miscavige. And knocked away the 41 of Jack Stanika. Stanika to Wawrinski. Zach Wawrinski now on the puck. Over to Larkin with a shot and saved by DeBlazy. 5 seconds left. Robert Poliski trying to get away from Alex DeBrincat as the horn sounds to end the first half. Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues, Alex DeBrincat of the Detroit Red Wings, your goal scorers as Team DeBrincat leads 2-0. Coming up next, Team DeBrincat will play their third straight game, this time against Team Bruskevich, with a handful of NHL players on that roster. A little bit of a break, and we'll go right back at it. The captain of Team DeBrincat, Alex DeBrincat. The 28-year-old from nearby Farmington Hills, Michigan. Played his youth hockey for Victory Honda Hockey Club before heading over to Lake Forest Academy. Spent 3 years in the Erie Otters in the Ontario Hockey League before moving over to the Chicago Blackhawks. For 5 seasons, a year with the Ottawa Senators, and soon he will begin his 4th year with the Detroit Red Wings. Hard to believe, training camp just a little over a month away for the National Hockey League teams. And the second half is underway. Caulfield's backhander goes wide. Team DeBrincat, the designated home team for this game, wearing the white uniforms. Red, gray, and black trim. They are skating left to right on your television screen as Logan Cockrell sends it up high and wide at Danny Miscavige. Caulfield, a shot goes wide. Team Hawkins, the designated road team for this game, wearing the black uniforms, white, gray, and red trim. They're skating right to left on your East Side Elite YouTube channel. Puck knocked out of mid by Cole Caulfield. Sends Dylan Larkin on a partial break. Over to Fowler. Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues. Now finds Evan Finney. Over to Larkin with a shot, and he scores! Dylan Larkin makes it 3-0 for Team DeBrincat. We mentioned the highest level on this Team Hawkins team is 8 ECHL players. In baseball terms, that would be AA. While Team DeBrincat loaded with National Hockey League stars. Their goaltender, Danny Miscavige, plays NCAA Division III hockey for the New England College Pilgrims. Over in New Hampshire, Emmett Finney over to Larkin, looking back for Finney. Had it knocked away by the 25 of Alex Kyle. Picked up by Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings. Larkin will reset. Goes back, coils back in his neutral zone. DeBrincat over to Finney. 3 Detroit Red Wings on the ice with 1 Columbus Blue Jacket as Larkin was going for a line change. DeBrincat shot there up high on Sam DeBlazy of the Saginaw Spirit. Here comes Logan Cockrell. Cockrell now with the puck. Alex Collins' way, shot there by Cockrell, and he scores! Logan Cockrell, the Jacksonville Iceman of the ECHL, has put Team Hawkins on the board. They trail 3-1. Team Hawkins trying to make a game out of this roster full of National Hockey League stars. As Jack Stanicka of the Florida Panthers takes the draw against Brandon Hawkins of the Toledo Walleye. And here comes Team DeBrincat. Osterley to a wide open Cole Caulfield. Caulfield now sends it in. Looking for Osterley. And sends it instead. Wawrinski knocks the water bottle into orbit, and it's 4-1. Trevor Zagris saw the 8. Zagris may owe Howie the new water bottle. 4-1. Caulfield now to Osterley. Osterley to Studnicka. Jack Studnicka, the Florida Panthers. Found Cole Caulfield. Was looking for Cam Fowler. Puck goes right in the crease, knocked away by Sam DeBlazy. And now Robert Poliski on a break. Poliski being pressured there by Jordan Osterley. Poliski feeds it across, picked up by the high schooler. That is Joseph Linhart. Linhart trying to feed over to Brandon Hawkins, but was knocked away. And Logan Cockrell goes after it. Cole Caulfield signaling for a line change. He goes to the bench. Dylan Larkin comes back out. A lot of speed by Logan Cockrell, but was knocked away with the 41 of Stanicki. Larkin now up to Cam Fowler. Fowler for Zagras. Zagras to Larkin with a shot. Goes wide. Zagras, who just made it 4-1. Looking for somewhere to go. Finds Cam Fowler. Dylan Larkin with a shot. And knocked away. That did not somehow stay out of the back of the net. The net comes off the moorings. .305 and counting remaining here in the second half, excuse me. Team Hawkins wins the draw. Picked up by Zane Dempsey, the Northern Michigan Wildcats. Knocked away by Emmett Finney. Tried to send Larkin on a break, and here comes Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings. Over to Emmett Finney. Finney with a backhand pass as Zagras was knocked away by the 10 of Zane Dempsey. Cross-ice pass, went nowhere, was looking for Mitch Lewandowski. And comes back to Dylan Larkin, leaves it for Alex DeBrincat, over to Zagras, back to DeBrincat, back to Zagras, over to Dylan Larkin. Larkin center, had the goalie down, had DeBlazy down on the ice, had him beat. And the net comes off the moorings one more time. 2:10 to go here in the second half. No. Cheers. Picked up by Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat sidesteps the 11 of Drake Grimshaw. Now to Zach Werenski. Over to Caulfield, a shot. Toe save there by Sam DeBlazy. Now here comes Team Hawkins the other way. Picked up there by Lewandowski with a shot. Fitted across to Drake Grimshaw. He scores. Drake Grimshaw, the Fort Wayne Comets of the ECHL, makes it 4-2. But time is running out for Team Hawkins. They trail by 2. Team DeBrincat looking for their second win of the day. We are in the midst of round-robin play. The semifinals are later tonight with the championship game tonight at approximately 9 o'clock. Or earlier. 50 seconds left. And Studnicka now to Zach Werenski. Back to Studnicka. The Nashville Predator. Feeds it up looking for Caulfield, but was knocked away by Mitchell Smith of the Rapid City Rush in the ECHL. Smith now the puck. Then with a shot saved by Miscavige. 30 seconds left and counting. Remaining here in the second half. Werenski now will feed it up looking for Caulfield. Off to the races with Logan Cockrell. Empty net to our right. 18 seconds left. Extra attacker. Picked up by Cockrell. Cockrell now up to Dalton Duhart. Duhart trying to feed it through. Then a shot there. Save made by Drake Grimshaw. 2 seconds left. Home to Brandon Hawkins. And the horn sounds, and that's going to do it. Team DeBrincat goes 2-0 with a 4-2 victory over Team Hawkins. Next game will be Team DeBrincat against Team Bruskevich. And as we do always, we will end with a fun shootout Brandon Hawkins to the Toledo Walleye. Goes one-on-one with Danny Miscavige of the New England Pilgrims. Little sidestep, and Miscavige says no. Danny Miscavige fouled him all the way and kept it out of the back of the net. Cole Caulfield against Sam DeBlazy. Caulfield, the Montreal Canadiens. Shot off the blocker of DeBlazy, the Saginaw Spirit of the OHL. Waiting on Team Bruskevich to get done over on rink number 3. And everyone's going to get a break. We'll move into the final segment of round-robin play. As the Zamboni will come out onto the ice for a quick resurface. We'll come back in about 8 to 10 minutes. We appreciate you tuning in to the 2026 East Side Elite Hockey All-Star Challenge, the Pro Division. We're just a little over halfway through. We'll come back in about 8 to 10 minutes after the resurface. You're watching the 2026 ESE Hockey All-Star Challenge live on the ESE Hockey YouTube channel. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Suburban Ice Arena here in Rochester, Michigan. We're located approximately 45 minutes northwest of Motown, Detroit. As we are in the midst of the 2026 East Side Elite Hockey All-Star Challenge, the Pro Division. And coming up next, it'll be Team DeBrincat, who is 2-0 so far today. They'll go up against Team Bruskevich. My name is Matt Breer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club, based in Mount Clemens, Michigan. We have a Tier 2 junior hockey program within the National Collegiate Development Conference, the NCDC, as well as 2 teams in Tier 3 hockey within the United States Premier Hockey League over at Mount Clemens Ice Arena. Certainly appreciate everyone tuning in on the ESE Hockey YouTube channel for this very special presentation of the 2026 ESE Hockey All-Star Challenge. As we get set to go for Team DeBrincat against Team Bruskevich. As we've talked about throughout the broadcast, Team DeBrincat loaded with National Hockey League superstars, including 3 Detroit Red Wings, Alex DeBrincat, Dylan Larkin, Emmett Finney, also 2026 Norris Trophy winner for the Columbus Blue Jackets, Zach Wawrinski, Trevor Zagris of the Philadelphia Flyers, Cole Caulfield of the Montreal Canadiens, Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues, Jordan Osterley of the Nashville Predators, and Jack Stanicka, of the Florida Panthers. The only non-NHLer is the goaltender, Danny Miscavige, who plays NCAA Division III hockey with the New England College Pilgrims, based in New Hampshire. And he's a former Metro Jet. Living an absolute dream as he looks in front of him and he sees nothing but NHL superstars. He's 2-0 so far. He'll go up against Team Bruskevich, led by a trio of National Hockey League stars, including Hunter Bruskevich of the Calgary Flames, Rutger McGroarty of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Frank Nazar of the Chicago Blackhawks are on this team. 3 American Hockey League stars, including Henry Bruskevich of the Ontario Reign, Ty Gallagher of the Providence Bruins, and goaltender Seth Thiesel of the Hershey Bears. Everybody else is a college hockey player, NCAA Division I or Division III, including Tyler Duke of the University of Michigan Wolverines, Kai Janvuria of the Yukon Huskies, Henry Muse, also the Michigan Wolverines, and Max Domestikov of the Bemidji State Beavers, and Dakota Rayon Mullen of the Michigan Wolverines. That name sounds familiar. Well, it should. His mom, the legendary Manon Rayon, now director of hockey operations for the new Detroit PWHL team. 1 Division III prospect, Sebastian Speck of the Endicott Gold, based out of Beverly, Massachusetts. As Team Bruskevich will go up against Team DeBrincat. We had to wait for Dylan Larkin to sign a few autographs. Not totally unexpected in Rochester, Michigan. 3 Detroit Red Wings. As we get set to go, for those of you just tuning in, the games go quick. They are 2 8-minute halves. Running time except for the last minute. At the end of the first half, switch sides after a 30-second break, come back, play the second half. Then as soon as this game's over, we move on to the next one. So this game here between Team DeBrincat and Team Bruskevich is the last round robin game of the day here on Rink 2. Team Reeder and Team Barnes are going at it right now. Next door on Rink 3. So this is the final round robin game of the All-Star Challenge. As soon as this game's over, we'll have our top 4 seeds. And we will have the first seed versus the 4 seed live here on Rink 2, as well as a championship game later tonight. Hunter Bruskevich sends the puck just wide. Now Trevor Zagras on a break. Zagras with a shot and saved by ESE All. Picked up there by Rutger McGroarty. The Pittsburgh Penguins tried to feed it up to Frank Nazar of the Chicago Blackhawks. Now picked up by Dylan Larkin. Larkin with DeBrincat to his left elbow. Trevor Zagras to his right elbow. Zach Werenski trailing, knocked away. Nice play there by Frank Nazar of the Blackhawks, who feeds it over to Ty Gallagher. Gallagher's shot goes wide, no Zagras. Over to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat had the puck knocked away. Now here comes Team Bruskevich. Emmett Finney had it knocked off his stick. By the 14 of Kai Janvuria. Janvuria now feeds it over to Dakota Rayon Mullen of the Michigan Wolverines. Up to Hunter Bruskevich. Head coach of Team DeBrincat is CJ Cush. Head coach of Team Bruskevich is Brian Felsner. As Cole Caulfield trying to find Jack Sadnicka. Sadnicka now, the Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues. Fowler brings it in, threw everybody over. Shot there by Sadnicka. And just went wide. He had an open net. Cole Caulfield had it knocked away by Kai Janvuria. Janvuria is into the neutral zone, goes right back to Caulfield. Cam Fowler tried to find it in his skates. Has to bring it out of the neutral zone. Send it back over to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield now to Studnicka. Studnicka looks for Emmett Finney, but was knocked away by the 24 of Henry Bruskevich. Janvuria now over. Picked up the pass by Bruskevich. Looking for Henry Muse. 0-0. 5:20 to go here in the first half. Cam Fowler sidesteps the 24 of Henry Bruskevich. Leaves it there for Jordan Osterley. Osterley to Dylan Larkin. Back to Osterley. The shot. Save made by Seth ESE All of the Hershey Bears, the American Hockey League. Bruskevich leaves it there for Rutger McGroarty. McGroarty now up to the 9. Sebastian Speck. Speck back to McGroarty. Had it knocked away by the 8 of Zach Werenski. No shame in play being broken up by a Norris Trophy winner. Werenski now to Dylan Larkin. Larkin steps up, fires, save made by ESE All. ESE All trying to send it up too far for Rutger McGroarty, an icing call. First icing of the day here on Rink 2. I think we've only had one offsides the whole time we've been here today, at least on this side, on Rink 2. That's the first icing of the call, and this is game 4. Dylan Larkin takes the draw against fellow 21 Frank Nazar. Nazar won it, now gets it back. Here comes Nazar. Feeds it out across, save, and a goal. Beautiful play there to Tyler Duke. And it's 1-0. Team Bruskevich over Team DeBrincat. First time Team DeBrincat's trailed today. Picked up by Hunter Bruskevich. Bruskevich feeds it up, knocked away by Werenski. Intended for Rutger McGroarty. Bruskevich feeds it back to Frank Nazar. Nazar now with the puck. Too far for Bruskevich. Now picked up by Wierenski. Now to Larkin, who had puck slapped away by the 21 by Nazar. Bruskevich grabs it. Knocked away from him by DeBrincat. Feeds up to Zach Wierenski. Wierenski with a shot into the glove of Seth ESE. Picked up by Hunter Bruskevich of the Calgary Flames. Feeds it up to Rutger McGroarty. McGroarty trying to feed it across. Over to Nemestikov. And now here comes DeBrincat. 3-on-1 with Fowler. Fowler to Caulfield. DeBrincat to Fowler. Save made. Another save by ESE. And Rutger McGroarty had the opportunity there. Comes back to the 3 of Dakota, Rayon Mullen. Rayon Mullen. Send it across to Nemestikov. Now grabbed there by Kai Janvuria. Janvuria now was trying to feed a over to Rayon Mullen. Shot there by the 14 of Kai Janvuria. And went just wide of Danny Miscavige. Ty Gallagher of the Providence Bruins trying to feed it across over to the 14 of Janvuria. And now picked off. Emmett Finney. Shot off the blocker of ESE. Here comes Rayon Mullen the other way. Over for Kai Janvuria, the Yukon Huskies, NCAA Division I program. Over to Janvuria, misfired on the shot. Rayon Mullen was right there as well. Miscavige covers with 1:25 to go here in the first half. Team Bruskevich up 1-0. Over Team DeBrincat. Face-off won by Team DeBrincat. Now Emmett Finney grabs it. Feeds it across over to Cam Fowler. Bounce took a weird hop off the board. Dylan Larkin there to bail him out. Larkin now over to Finney. Emmett Finney pressured off the puck there by Henry Bruskevich. And a first penalty of the day here on Rink 2. This is game 4 here on Rink 2, and our first penalty of the day will go to Henry Bruskevich. We'll put Team DeBrincat in the power play. Larkin lost that draw. Sebastian Speck. Speck looking for Rayon Mullen. Wierenski now grabs it over to Trevor Zagras. Zagras over to Wierenski. He's got a lot of room. Over to Emmett Finney. Finney to Larkin. Larkin with a shot into the glove of ESE as a horn sounds to end the first half. Seth ESE's been good so far. The Hershey Bear in the American Hockey League. ESE playing last year with the Bears. Also spending time with the South Carolina Stingrays in the ECHL. He'll start the 2026-2027 season with the Utica Comets in the AHL. Spent parts of the last 2 years spending time with the Hershey Bears and the South Carolina Stingrays of the AHL and the ECHL respectively. Began his college career with the Lake Superior State Lakers, NCAA Division I, before spending his final year of college hockey with the University of Nebraska Omaha. Second half underway. Team DeBrincat, 35 seconds left in the power play. They're the designated home team. Larkin with a shot up in the rafters and out of play. And a lucky fan from Rochester Hills, Michigan, picking up a souvenir puck. Team DeBrincat is the designated home team for this game, wearing the white uniforms. Red, gray, and black trim. They're skinning left to right on your television screen. While Team Bruskevich Designated road team for this game, wearing the black uniforms, white, gray, and red trim. They're skating right to left on your ESE Hockey YouTube television dial. Larkin to Zagris to Werenski. Over to Finney. Off Caulfield, excuse me. Shot there by Werenski. Now out of the penalty box. Bruskevich will go after it. Power plays over. Both teams back to full straight. Bruskevich fires. Blocked there by Zach Werenski. Werenski cross ice, looking for Caulfield. Picked up there by Duke. Another shot there. Save made by Miscavige. And he'll hang on. .6:45 and counting remaining here in the second half. One nothing. Team Bruskevich over Team DeBrincat. First time all day Team DeBrincat has trailed. And they even had a power play. Stanika all the way through off the helmet of ESE. Collected there by the 28, Ty Gallagher of the Providence Bruins of the American Hockey League. Gallagher, long stretch pass, was looking for Henry Bruskevich. Instead found the 3 of Jordan Osterley. Over to Stanika. Jack Stanika feeds it up, picked up by Fowler with a shot off the blocker of ESE. Collected there by Fowler. Off the bench, Evan Finney had it knocked away. And here comes Team Bruskevich the other way. Frank Nazar feeds across the Ty Gallagher with a shot up high and wide. Team Bruskevich really with the pressure now. Shot there by the 14 of Nemestikov and was sent wide. Knocked away, picked up by Team Bruskevich. Pressure by Dylan Larkin. A trio of Detroit Red Wings on the ice with one St. Louis Blue. Picked up by Dylan Larkin. Over to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat to Fowler with a shot off the pad of Seth ESE. ESE's been good so far for Team Bruskevich. Here comes Larkin now to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield brings it in. Now to Evan Finney with a shot off the post. Whoa! Emmett Finney rings it off the post. Here comes Caulfield back the other way. Caulfield will bring it in. Over for Larkin. Larkin had it knocked away by Henry Muse of the University of Michigan. Back right down in front. Werenski mishandled the pass. And it goes all the way back down the Team DeBrincat zone. Dylan Larkin over to Trevor Zagris. Zagris now brings it in. Werenski's trailing. So is Caulfield. Pressure there by the 6 of Henry Muse. Over to Stanika. Stanika now pass. Picks over to Caulfield. Off the pass for Werenski with a shot into the big paw of Seth ESE. And he hangs on with 3:55 to go and counting here in the second half. Seth ESE came to play. ESE, the 27-year-old from Lake Elmo, Minnesota. As Team DeBrincat trying to solve the new Utica Comets. Seth ESE, the goaltender for Team Bruskevich. Werenski stretch pass to DeBrincat, 2-on-1. DeBrincat with a shot, saved by ESE. And now going to swing back the other way, knocked away by Rooker McGorty. 3-on-2 again. So Nick and DeBrincat with a shot, just wide. Comes back to Werenski. Over to Stanika, had it knocked away by Dakota Rayon Mullen. Rayon Mullen now over to McGorty. McGorty back to Dakota Rayon Mullen. Over to McGorty, a shot just wide on Danny Miscavige. Here comes Team DeBrincat the other way. Dylan Larkin at the end of a long shift. Over to DeBrincat, over to Stanika. Lost it in his skates. Back over Warinsky, looking for Larkin with a shot. Was blocked by Briskevich. Warinsky, 2:20 remaining here in the second half. So Nick and a Larkin. Larkin to the Brinket. Over to Zach Warinsky. Warinsky, top of the face-off circle, with a shot deflected with the netting and out of play. And a lucky fan from Sterling Heights, Michigan, picks up a souvenir puck. Two minutes and counting remaining here in the second half. Team de Brinket cannot solve. Goaltender Seth Ezall. Zegers with a shot, patted away by Ezall. Fowler trying to grab it, had it knocked away by Ty Gallagher. Team de Brinket keeps the puck in, but knocked away. And here comes Henry Briskevich. Up to the 23 of Nemestikov. A shot saved by Briskevich. Here comes Larkin the other way. Dylan Larkin looking for somewhere to go. Feeds it out in front, just wide. Briskevich on the bench. Extra attacker on the ice. 1:20 to go. Over to Larkin with a shot. Saved by Ezall. And he hangs on with 1:15 and counting remaining here in the second half. My goodness. A minute remaining. Warinsky with a drive, just wide. And the puck comes all the way back in the neutral zone. Time running out on Team de Brinket to stay undefeated. Caulfield now. Over to the Brinket. The Brinket lets it go for Zegras. Zegras now. Over to Warinsky. Warinsky had it knocked away, but Larkin grabs it. Back up and hops over his stick. My goodness. Time running out. 28 seconds left. 1-0. Team Briskevich over Team de Brinket. Caulfield leads it for Zegras. Zegras back to Caulfield. De Brinket with a shot wide. Larkin misfired. 15 seconds left. Here comes de Brinket. Over to Larkin. Larkin to Warinsky. Warinsky stick handles. Looking for Caulfield. And it knocked away. Larkin couldn't keep it in. And Team de Brinket over Larkin. De Brinket with a shot. Patted away by Ezall. And that's going to do it. 1-0 final. Seth Ezall, recently acquired by the Utica Comets of the AHL. Stonewalls, the team of NHL All-Stars. And they pick up the win, 1-0. So the fun shootout will commence while we wait for the seedings to be decided. Kai Janvaria of the Yukon Huskies against Danny Miscavige with a blocker save. Trevor Zegras will try against Seth Ezall. The game's over. Team Briskevich wins 1-0. But after every game, we have a fun shootout. Zegras will try to solve Ezall. Trevor Zegras. Shot save, and he scores. Too little, too late for Zegras. As Team Briskevich wins by a score of 1-0. Now we await the seedings. We will now await the seedings for each. We have here on rink 2 the first seed against the 4th seed. And it looks as though we will see Team Barnes. We will wait to see who the seedings are. And the team to our left, this looks to be Team Barnes. As there you see Max Sasson, number 25, the Vancouver Canucks. 34 of Andrew Gibson, the Milwaukee Admirals. At least that's what it appears to be, Team Barnes. And it looks like Team DeBrincat staying on the ice, so it could be a rematch between Team DeBrincat and Team Barnes. At least we think. It's a mixture of Team Barnes and Team Bruskevich on the ice. Well, this much we can tell you. Team DeBrincat staying over on the home side, so it looks like they are the number 1 seed. Despite that loss to Team Bruskevich, it's entirely possible they can play Team Bruskevich again here in the 1 versus 4 seed. We will see. And we're seeing some of the Team Barnes participants now making their way over to Rink 3. They are the 2nd or the 3rd seed. We're learning right along with you live here on the broadcast. And indeed, it looks to be a rematch between Team DeBrincat and Team Bruskevich. Winner of this game will play the winner of the game over on Rink 3. And indeed, that is the case. Number 1 seed versus number 4 seed. Team DeBrincat, Team Bruskevich. They'll go at it again. Team DeBrincat, the number 1 seed, against Team Bruskevich, the number 4 seed. They got in on the win just about 5 minutes ago. So here we go, the rematch. Semifinal, number 1 seed, Team DeBrincat, number 4 seed, Team Bruskevich. Team Bruskevich got in on the win against Team DeBrincat. They're the 4 seed. It was their first win of the day. And they get the rematch just 5 minutes later. Got there up high and wide. And picked up by Hunter Bruskevich. The Calgary Flame was looking for twin brother Henry, but he was not on the ice. Bruskevich with the save on a shot by Dakota Rayon Mullen. And here comes Team DeBrincat. Evan Finney with a shot off the blocker. And out of play. And a lucky fan from Clinton Township, Michigan picks up a souvenir puck. The winner of this game will play the winner of the game just underway on Rink 3 for the championship. And there will be a resurface after this game before we go to the finals. Rucker McGroarty with the puck now. Feeds it across over for Max Nemesnikov. Nemesnikov had to feed it outside. And now Ty Gallagher grabbed it. Picked up by McGroarty. McGroarty leaves it there for Gallagher. Gallagher to Janvuria with a shot. Kai Janvuria of the Yukon Huskies. Ever so close. Here comes Zegras. Trevor Zegras of the Philadelphia Flyers. Over for Cam Fowler, the St. Louis Blues. To Zach Werenski, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Werenski looking for Zegras, instead found the 14 of Kai Janvuria. Cross ice pass now picked up by Rucker McGroarty. McGroarty tried to feed it across to Janvuria. McGroarty steps up, goes all the way around, goes through, and he scores! Rucker McGroarty, the Pittsburgh Penguins, makes it 1-0 for Team Bruskevich. And for the second time in about 30 minutes, Team DeBrincat finds themselves trailing 1-0 to Team Bruskevich. Face-off won by Team DeBrincat. Larkin gets the pass on Jordan Osterley. Now Alex DeBrincat. Too far for Osterley, the Nashville Predators. Picked up there by Henry Muse of the Michigan Wolverines. Off the pass, Henry Bruskevich. Picked up DeBrincat, almost sent on a break. But Frank Nazar had it knocked it away. Now DeBrincat takes it back away over to Cole Caulfield, the Montreal Canadiens. Over to DeBrincat, a shot off the glove and up in the rafters and not a play. 4:25 to go here in the first half. Once again, we welcome you to Suburban Ice Arena in Rochester, Michigan. This is the 2026 Eastside Elite All-Star Challenge, the Pro Division. Caulfield, a shot off the post. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club, Tier 2 hockey program, the National Collegiate Development Conference, as well as Tier 3 junior hockey program in the United States Premier Hockey League. Sincerely appreciate the opportunity by Steve Alexi and the entire gang. Shot there by Studnicka, saved by ESE with 3:35 to go. This is the first semifinal matchup of the All-Star Challenge. The second semifinal matchup is ongoing next door in Ring 3. Face-off won by Team DeBrincat. Shot by Zegras. Save made by Seth Ezal. And now picked up by Hunter Bruskevich. Bruskevich of the Calgary Flames. Surveying the land. Feeds it over to Nemesnikov. And here comes Team Bruskevich. Back over to Rio Mullen off the deflection, and Miscavige makes a save. Here comes Team DeBrincat the other way. Fatigue perhaps starting to settle in on Team DeBrincat. This is their third straight game with only a resurface as a break. Fourth straight games, excuse me. They went 2-1, but still hung on to the first seed. Picked a shot there by the 8. Sebastian Speck, and it goes up high, not a play. And a lucky fan from Novi, Michigan, picking up a souvenir puck. Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings will take the draw against Rucker McGroarty of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Larkin pushes it forward out of the neutral zone. Picked up by Ty Gallagher. Pressured there by DeBrincat and Larkin. Got it through both, over to McGroarty, who's got the lone goal over Team Bruskevich. DeBrincat steals, goes down. Collision there with Ty Gallagher. Shot there, saved by Miscavige. Point-blank opportunity there by Kai Janvuria. Here comes the DeBrincat. No, Larkin with a shot, saved by Ezal. Perfectly timed one-timer by Larkin. And Ezal comes up big again. Caulfield! Top shelf, bar down, scores! Cole Caulfield, the Montreal Canadiens, ties it for Team DeBrincat. It's 1-1 with a minute to go and counting here in the first half. Studnicka wins the draw. Back to Cam Fowler to St. Louis Blues. Now Trevor Zegras. Side steps McGroarty. Works his way through. Zegras all the way to behind goaltender Seth Easall. Comes back to Emmett Finney, back to Zegras. Trevor Zegras looking for Cam Fowler, had it knocked away by McGroarty, and Fowler has to retreat. St. Louis Blues, Detroit Red Wings, Florida Panthers, Philadelphia Flyers on the ice for Team DeBrincat. Puck was knocked away by Ty Gallagher. Shot there, almost sent Kai Janvuria on a break. Gallagher pressured there as the horn sounds to end the first half. Rucker McGroarty, Team Bruskevich. Cole Caulfield for Team DeBrincat. Your goal scorers were tied at 1. Heading into the second half of our first semifinal. The second semifinal is going on in progress next door in Ring 3. We'll know when you do, when they head onto the ice, who won that game. The winner of this game will head to the locker room for a resurface while we await the outcome of that second semifinal. Then at approximately 8:45, 8:50, our championship game for the 2026 Eastside Elite All-Star Challenge in the Pro Division. Second half about to get underway. Team DeBrincat, the designated home team once again, wearing their white uniforms. Red, gray, and black trim. They are skating left to right on your television screen, while Team Bruskevich, the designated road team, wearing the black uniforms, white, gray, and red trim. They're skating right to left on your ECE Hockey YouTube television dial. Here's Zach Werenski, the Norris Trophy winner, looking for Zegras. Had it knocked away. Kept in by Cole Caulfield, the goal scorer for Team DeBrincat. Leads it for Alex for DeBrincat. To Werenski. Werenski sidesteps. Two Bruskevich players. Over to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield now to Zegras. Zegras to DeBrincat. Over to Caulfield, who misfired. Here comes Team Bruskevich the other way. Picked up by Frank Nazar with a shot. The Chicago Blackhawk went high and wide. Picked up by Cole Caulfield, 2-on-1. Caulfield looking for DeBrincat, bouncing puck off the pad of Seth Easall. Nice pickpocket there by Zach Werenski. He's done that more than once today. DeBrincat over to Caulfield, who drives it past Seth Easall. And Cole Caulfield of the Montreal Canadiens makes it 2-1 for Team DeBrincat. Dylan Larkin takes the draw against Dakota Rayon Mullen. Won by Larkin. Back to Cam Fowler. Fowler will bring it in. Leads it for Larkin. Here comes Dylan Larkin, the captain of the Detroit Red Wings, with a shot. Easall gobbles it up and makes the save. Seth Easall pitched a shutout in the game just about 20 minutes ago against this Team DeBrincat team. But Cole Caulfield has figured something out. He's got both goals for Team DeBrincat. And now Team Bruskevich. Bruskevich has to find a way to tie this game. They trail 2-1. Their goal coming from Rucker McGroarty, the Pittsburgh Penguins. And icing for just the second time tonight here in Rink 2. .5:35 and counting remaining here in the second half. The winner moves on to the finals of the ESE Hockey All-Star Challenge here from Suburban Ice Arena in Rochester, Michigan. Bruskevich trying to feed it up to Sebastian Speck of the Indico Gulls. Dylan Larkin Has some speed to Stanicki. Shot rebound to Fowler. Over to Finney with a shot up high. Stanicki now had it taken away from Hunter Bruskevich. And now here comes Ty Gallagher of the Providence Bruins, farm team of the Boston Bruins. Picked up Rio Mullen and a knocked away. Now Trevor Zegras on a break. Ty Gallagher trying to keep up. Shot there off the stick, then the pad of Seth Esau. 4:30 to go here in the second half. Dakota Rio Mullen of the Michigan Wolverines feeds it over to Ty Gallagher of the Providence Bruins. Gallagher up to Nemestikov, and they score! Tyler Duke of the University of Michigan Wolverines ties the game. Beautiful feed by Rutger McGroarty. It's 2-2. 3:45 and counting remaining here in the second half. Winner moves on to the championship game. The loser in this game, they're done for the night. Werenski up to DeBrincat with a shot up high, trying to short side. Hops over Werenski's stick. Here comes Frank Nazars on a break with a shot. Fought off by Danny Miscavige. That was NHL against NCAA Division III. Zegers trying to feed it to DeBrincat. Now 3-on-1. Nazar had it knocked away. Got it back. Save. Rebound. Just short side. Just missed. Picked up by Nazar again. The Chicago Blackhawk. Over to McGroarty, the Pittsburgh Penguin. Another shot deflected, and they score! Max Nemestikov has given team Bruskevich the 3-2 lead with 2:40 and counting remaining here in the second half. Team DeBrincat now their backs against the wall. Fatigue starting to set in. Team DeBrincat, it's their fourth straight game. Dylan Larkin trying to fight off the 14 of Kai Janvuria. Expect Team DeBrincat goaltender Danny Miscavige to head to the bench in favor of an extra attacker. Picked up there by Kai Janvuria. Knocked away, now here comes Emmett Finney. 2 minutes remaining here in the second half. Dylan Larkin looking for Fowler. Foul from Stanicki. Easel fights it off. Finney now looking for Larkin. Hopped over his stick, but he kept it into the zone. Bouncing puck took a weird hop off the glass. Fowler keeps it in with a little bit of help from Dylan Larkin. Larkin cross ice to DeBrincat. DeBrincat scores! Alex DeBrincat of the Detroit Red Wings has tied this game at 3-3. With a dart over the right shoulder of goaltender Seth Esau. It's 3-3. With 1:10 and counting remaining here in the second half. Sebastian Speck had it knocked away by Zach Werenski. Cole Caulfield is there. He's got two of the Team DeBrincat's goals. DeBrincat with the other one. Less than a minute remaining here in the second half. Bruskevich trying to get it out. Gets it back. A little bit of help there from Dakota Rio Mullen. Feeds it to Sebastian Speck. Speck down to Bruskevich. That's Hunter Bruskevich into 47. Henry wears 24. Have it to Rio Mullen. 30 seconds left. Tie 3-3. Puck goes on the neutral zone. Picked up there by Rio Mullen, who feeds it up. Ty Gallagher to Bruskevich. Back to Gallagher. Gallagher had it knocked away. And here comes Zach Werenski. 12 seconds left. Werenski around Bruskevich. What a shot. Save made by ESE All with 7.2 seconds left. Remember, it is running time until the last minute of each half. The whistle blows. We're locked in at 7.2 seconds. If we remain tied, we go to a shootout, and the shootout will be for real. Dylan Larkin against Frank Nazar. Larkin wins the draw. Over to Werenski. Werenski with a shot. Saved by ESE All. Zegras couldn't pull the trigger. And we're going to a shootout. Third shootout of the day in 5 games here on Rink 2. Winner moves on to the championship game at approximately 9 o'clock tonight. They'll face the winner of the other semifinal game going on right now next door. Well, we've been saying we go right to a shootout if the game is tied. So this is a semifinal game. So we're going to a 5-minute overtime. This is a semifinal game. 3-on-3, 5-minute overtime. The ice opens up, even more so. Dylan Larkin, Cole Caulfield, Zach Werenski for Team DeBrincat. They'll go one-on-one with Rutger McGroarty. Frank Nazar. And Henry Bruskevich of Team Bruskevich. Larkin to Werenski, knocked away by McGroarty. McGroarty now feeds it across over the 21 to Frank Nazar. Nazar, the Chicago Blackhawks. Fights there with Cole Caulfield. They've had more than a couple wars. McGroarty, nice stick handle. Backhand shot on the side of the net. And now Cole Caulfield's off to the races. Beat to the punch there by Frank Nazar. 5-minute overtime. Dylan Larkin goes after it. 3-on-3 overtime. Winner moves on. Losers are done. First semifinal game. Cam Fowler looks finds Trevor Zegras. Over to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat over to Zegras. Trevor Zegras of the Philadelphia Flyers over to Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues. Fowler over to Alex DeBrincat, the Detroit Red Wings. DeBrincat pressured there by the 14 of Kai Janvuria. Back into Zegras, he's got room. Shot just missed the top corner. Fowler had it knocked away by a tired Kai Janvuria. Picked up by Hunter Bruskevich. Bruskevich, the twin brother Henry Bruskevich. And the twin brothers play catch. Kai Janvuria also on the ice. The Bruskevich twins. Over to Janvuria. Kai Janvuria, the Yukon Huskies. The only non-professional on the ice, skater-wise. Picked up by Henry Bruskevich. Knocked away by Emmett Finney. And collected there by Frank Nazar, the Chicago Blackhawks. Here comes Nazar. Nazar feeds it up, looking for Rutger McGroarty. Had it taken away by Werenski. Gets a little bit of help from Jack Studnicka. Studnicka of the Florida Panthers now brings it out. 2:40 to go here in overtime. Jack Studnicka trying to lob it through the 28 of Ty Gallagher. Gallagher back on his feet. Pressured there by Dylan Larkin. Over to Dakota Rayo Mullen as Zach Werenski breaks up the pass. And here comes Werenski, feeds it up to Dylan Larkin. Larkin brings it in. Larkin threw everybody, couldn't get the shot off. Back over to Zach Werenski. Werenski behind the net. for Larkin, who's got room. He fires, saved by ESE All. Larkin battles there with Ty Gallagher. Team DeBrincat goes for a line change. As does Team Bruskevich. A minute 50 to go here in overtime. 3-3 tie. Kai Janvuria behind the net. Sends it up to Hunter Bruskevich. Bruskevich back to Janvuria. Pressured there by Cole Caulfield as well as Cam Fowler. Here comes Bruskevich. Dakota Rio Mullen heading towards the net. He gets the puck for Bruskevich. Feed across, knocked away. We're looking for Janvuria. Janvuria gets it back. Minute 15 to go here in overtime. Now picked up by Dallas DeBrincat. 2-on-0. DeBrincat with Cole Caulfield. Caulfield to DeBrincat. Caulfield, and he scores! No, he didn't. Everybody in the building thought that was a goal. Seth ESE All with the save of the tournament. Everybody in the building thought that was a goal. Wow. Alex DeBrincat and Cole Caulfield can't believe it. We swear to you, everybody in this building thought that was a goal, except referee Dan Alexi and goaltender Seth ESE All. Save of the tournament by Seth ESE All. And here comes Team Bruskevich. Nazar heading out the way by Dylan Larkin. He'll send Trevor Zagras. Zagras against Bruskevich. Waits for reinforcements. Over to Cam Fowler. Fowler to Larkin. Backhand shot off the helmet of ESE All. 40 seconds left here in overtime. Dylan Larkin. Over to Fowler, who misstepped and couldn't get a handle on it. 28 seconds and counting here in overtime. Fowler to Zagras. Zagras looking for somewhere to go. Bounces off the boards to Dylan Larkin. 15 seconds left. Larkin pressured there by Tyler Gallagher. Goes down. Fowler grabs it. Over to Zagras. Zagras mishandled. 5 seconds left. Cam Fowler steps up. To Larkin. Fires just wide. Overtime is not enough. It's 3-3. Seth ESE All with a save of the game. The Utica Comet, who spent last year between the Hershey Bears and the AHL and the South Carolina Stingrays and the ECHL. Everybody in the building except referee Dan Alexi and goaltender Seth ESE All thought that was in the net. Seth ESE All, the goaltender out of Mound Lake, Minnesota. He'll play for the Utica Comets in the AHL this year. He split time last year between the Hershey Bears of the AHL and the South Carolina Stingrays of the ECHL. Former Lake Superior State Laker. One overtime's not enough. Let's go to 2 overtimes. We'll try it again. Second overtime. Dylan Larkin, Alex DeBrincat, Zach Wierenski for Team DeBrincat. Against Hunter and Henry Bruskevich. And Rucker McGroarty on a shot, save, rebound! At the side of the net. McGroarty on a wide open net. Off the rebound. And Miscavige comes up big. McGroarty, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Shot there, saved by Miscavige. Larkin sends DeBrincat. Here comes DeBrincat. Shot, scores! Alex DeBrincat has won it for Team DeBrincat. They're going to the finals in double overtime. My goodness. Alex DeBrincat. ironically playing the Chicago Blackhawks goal song, which is even more ironic. Frank Nazar on the Chicago Blackhawks was on Team Bruskevich. And looks like they will go against Team Barnes in the finals. We are expecting a resurface before the championship game. Or not. And Team DeBrincat would not mind a resurface right now. This will be their 5th consecutive game. They will go up against Team Barnes, whom they defeated 5-4 earlier today. So it's Team DeBrincat, Team Barnes for the title. As we get set to go for the championship game of the 2026 Eastside Elite All-Star Challenge. It's Team DeBrincat against Team Barnes. We've been using the 2-man referee system for this entire tournament. We go to the 4-man for the championship game. 2 refs, 2 linesmen. We were expecting a resurface, but no sign of the Zamboni. As we mentioned, Team DeBrincat wouldn't mind a little break. This is their 5th consecutive game. They have had no break. So here we go. 2 8-minute halves to decide the title. In goal for Team DeBrincat, Danny Miscavige from the New England College Pilgrim NCAA Division III program. And for Team Barnes, it's Owen Lepak, the goaltender for the Youngstown Phantoms of the USHL. Tier 1 junior hockey for the title. We're underway. Team DeBrincat, the designated home team for this game. Wearing the white uniforms, red, gray, and black trim. They'll be skating right to left on your television screen. While Team Barnes, the designated road team for this game, wearing the black uniforms, white, red, and gray trim. They're skating left to right on your ESE Hockey YouTube television dial. Championship game of 2026 ESE All-Star Challenge. Cam Fowler over to Jordan Osterley. Osterley, the Nashville Predators, brings it back in the neutral zone for Jack Studnicka of the Florida Panthers. Studnicka to Emmett Finney of the Detroit Red Wings. Finney now with the puck. Up to Zach Werenski, the Norris Trophy winner of this past season in the National Hockey League. Trying to feed it across over to Studnicka. And here comes Team Barnes the other way. Max Sasson, the Vancouver Canucks, feeds it over to Cody Sokol, the shot. Doesn't get it all the way to Danny Miscavige. Sokol had to take it away, and here comes Dylan Larkin. Lets it go for Zach Werenski. Werenski now over to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield behind the back maneuver around Evan Sofakidis. Sofakidis got it over to Sam O'Reilly of the Syracuse Crunch, the AHL. But Werenski takes it away from him. Zach Werenski now to Trevor Zagris. Rink 3 is over, so everybody's here on Rink 2. Glad you're with us here at Suburban Ice Arena in Rochester, Michigan. The championship game of the 2026 ESE All-Star Challenge, the Pro Division. The Brincat with a shot goes wide. Now picked up by Cody Sokol. Sokol sidestep the Brincat with a shot goes wide. 5:35 to go. Cole Caulfield, not as the Stingers had it knocked away. Alex the Brincat, the overtime hero from the previous semifinal game. In double overtime to send Team to Brincat to the championship game. Sadnicka with a shot, off-angle shot. Owen Lepak makes the save. And now feeds it up to Logan Malu, the St. Louis Blues, who ironically is playing against St. Louis Blues teammate Cam Fowler, wears number 20. Sokol with a shot goes wide. Picked up by Andrew Gibson of the Milwaukee Admirals. Comes back to the 44 of Malu. Logan Malu had it knocked away, gets it back from Sadnicka. And it comes out through the skates of Emmett Finney. Here comes Finney. Dylan Larkin coming off the bench. Finney trying to sidestep the 20 of Teddy Spitznagel. Larkin on both knees over to Sadnicka. Jack Sadnicka. Looking for Finney in front of the net. Had a partial deflection, goes wide. And knocked away to Dylan Larkin. Larkin back up there, fellow Detroit Red Wing Emmett Finney looking for, couldn't find Sadnicka. And here comes Andrew Gibson. Gibson brings it in, leaves it there for Ty Talillo. Talillo leaves it for Blake Barnes, the Niagara Ice Dogs. Pass deflected up, picked but kept in by Gibson with a shot off the shoulder of Danny Miscavige. 3:45 to go here in the first half. 0-0 tie. Team to Brincat, Team Barnes for the title. Knocked away by Teddy Spitznagel of the Ottawa 67th of the Ontario Hockey League. Spitznagel looking off for the pass there by the 36 of Talillo. Werenski over to Zegras with a drive, goes wide. And Werenski will go back after it. Danny Miscavige will leave it there for Zach Werenski. Werenski now to Alex DeBrincat. DeBrincat now brings it in offside. The call. That's only the second offside call of the night here on Rink 2. Face off the neutral zone to our left. Won by the 25 of Max Sasson. And the referee goes down. Couldn't have timed that any better by stepping on the puck. Sokol with a shot saved by Miscavige. DeBrincat knocks it over to the corner for Zach Werenski. The Columbus Blue Jacket, 2026 Norris Trophy winner for Best Defenseman in the National Hockey League. Brought it in to Team Barnes. And comes back to Zegras. Trevor Zegras being pressured there by Max Sasson of the Vancouver Canucks. Old rivals from the Pacific Division back in Zegras' Anaheim Ducks days. DeBrincat looking for Sadnicka with a shot off the glove of Owen Lepak. Sokol feeds it up to Max Sasson. Sasson back to Sokol. Sokol had it knocked away by Zach Werenski. 1:45 to go here in the first half. 0-0 tie. As Cam Fowler, the St. Louis Blues, retreats in his own end as the Team to Brincat finishes the line change. Fowler now with a 3 of Jordan Osterley to his right. Leads it for Cole Caulfield. Caulfield with a shot into the paraphernalia of Owen Lepak. And here comes Team Barnes the other way. Mason Benedict to the left of Sam O'Reilly, an offside call. Second one of the game. Third of the day. here in Game 6, the final game, the championship game of the 2026 ECE All-Star Challenge Pro Division. .50 seconds left here in the first half. Cam Fowler brings it in. Osterley headed towards the net. Knocked away by Lepak. Jordan Osterley, the Nashville Predators. Gets a little bit of help from Cole Caulfield, the Montreal Canadiens. Cam Fowler of the St. Louis Blues. Back for Caulfield. Over to Seagrass with a drive. Excuse me, that was Emmett Finney. And the ball, no, Caulfield had to go back into his own zone. Now he brings it back. Caulfield, pressured there by the 44 Logan Mallew of the St. Louis Blues. Ironically, Malyew's teammate Cam Fowler of the Blues has the puck. Side step, Sam O'Reilly of the Syracuse Crunch. And the horn sounds to end the first half. 0-0 tie. We go to the second half. Fatigue setting in for Team DeBrincat. This is their 5th consecutive game with no breaks other than a resurface at the end of their 3rd game. Team Barnes has had a bit of fatigue as well. They've gone back and forth from rank 2 to rank 3, but they have had a break, including a Zamboni break. As we get set to over the second half, appreciate everyone tuning in on Eastside Elite Hockey's YouTube channel for this special presentation of the 2026 ECE All-Star Challenge from Suburban Ice Arena. We're located about 45 minutes northwest of Motown, Detroit, in Rochester, Michigan. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club. Tier 2 junior hockey program, the National Collegiate Development Conference, as well as Tier 3 junior hockey program in the United States Premier Hockey League. Larkin with a shot, he scores! Dylan Larkin makes it 1-0. It's a slow, steady shot that eluded goaltender Owen Lepak. And Dylan Larkin makes it 1-0. 7:14 and counting remaining here in the second half. Picked up there, shot by the 36 of Ty Toledo. Now to Brincat, over to Zegras. Zegras, a Caulfield with a drive. And Owen Lepak fought that one off. Evan Sovakitis feeds it up to the 41 of Cody Sokol. The shot was knocked away. Rebound scored. Ty Toledo, the Tucson Roadrunners of the American Hockey League, has tied it at 1. Toledo's had a few goals today. .620 and counting remaining here in the second half. Dylan Larkin scored for Team DeBrincat to break a scoreless tie. Ty Toledo responded. It's 1-1. Zach Werenski now up to Dylan Larkin. Larkin has to retreat in the neutral zone. Feeling the pressure there from Teddy Spitznagel. Now brought in by Max Sasson, but offside the call. One tie, 5:40 and counting remaining here in the second half. An absolutely stellar crowd here tonight in Suburban Ice Arena in Rochester, Michigan. Picked up by the 44 Logan Mallew. Mallew with the puck. Battles there with fellow St. Louis Blue Cam Fowler. Leaves it there for Blake Barnes. Barnes with a shot. Doesn't get all the way through. Met there by Taze Benton. Now on the break. Jack Studnicka. Studnicka with a shot. Save made by Owen Lepak. Malou leaves it there for Blake Barnes. Barnes pressured there by Studnicka. Kicks it up to Zach Werenski. Werenski pressured there by Blake Barnes. Feeds it up to Cam Fowler. He's got Emmett Finney to his right elbow. Fowler with a little bit of help from Studnicka. Over to Werenski with a shot. He scores! Zach Werenski makes it 2-1. The reigning Norris Trophy winner of the National Hockey League from the Columbus Blue Jackets makes it 2-1. .4:14 to go. And counting. Here in the third period. Excuse me, second half. Picked up shot, save made. Sofakidis, Evan Sofakidis of the Tri-City Storm. USHL Tier 1 Junior Hockey. Zagras battles there with Logan Malou. Comes over to Dylan Larkin, who opened the scoring in this game. Larkin trying to feed it up to Caulfield, and he does. The Fowler, the Zagras, the Caulfield. Knocked away by Logan Malou. Shot there, save made by Fowler. Owen Lepak makes a save. Here comes Sokol. Cody Sokol feeds it up. Shot saved by Miscavige. Big stop on Max Sasson of the Vancouver Canucks. Less than 3 minutes and counting. It's 2-1, Team DeBrincat. Face off won by Team Barnes. Blake Barnes of Sokol. Cody Sokol trying to feed it up to Sam O'Reilly. Was knocked away by Emmett Finney. 3 Detroit Red Wings, 1 Columbus Blue Jacket on the ice. 14 DeBrincat. And it's picked up by the Blue Jackets. Zach Werenski, who just gave his team the 2-1 lead. Picked up by Cody Sokol. Sokol to O'Reilly with shot, scores! Sam O'Reilly of the Syracuse Crunch in the AHL makes it 2-2. Top shelf on Danny Miscavige. And it's 2-2. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the second half. Picked up by Team Barnes. The 25 of Max Sasson. Feeds it across. Shot. Off the glove. Courtesy of Ty Toledo. And out of play. And a lucky fan from Imlay City, Michigan picks up a souvenir puck. Face off to the left. The goaltender, Danny Miscavige, glove side. Dylan Larkin takes it all against Max Sasson with a shot right off the face-off by Logan Malou. Now here comes Team DeBrincat, led by Alex DeBrincat. Cross-side looking for Larkin, hopped over his stick. Picked up there by Ty Toledo, who kicks it up to Andrew Gibson. Gibson brings it in. Less than a minute remaining here in the second half. Malou, the shot, scored! Off the deflection by Max Sasson of the Vancouver Canucks. It's 3-2. And remember, it's running time unless it's the last minute of the half. So we're at 53.1 seconds left. Max Sasson of the Vancouver Canucks has made it 3-2. Does Team DeBrincat have any magic left? Here goes Danny Miscavige. He'll head to the bench for the extra attacker. 45 seconds left, and here we go. Trevor Zagras. Over. Shot. Oh, Fowler backed over to Caulfield. Back to Fowler. Then to Brincat. Shot. Deflected with the netting and out of play. 31.6 seconds left. Face off to the right of goaltender Owen Lepak of the Youngstown Phantoms in the USHL. And a timeout being called. Timeouts were not allowed in the round robin play or the semifinals. You are allowed one timeout in the championship game. And Team DeBrincat takes the timeout. Head coach CJ Cush gathers his troops. Team Barnes head coach Ryan Barnes gathers his troops as well. Final instructions, 31.6 seconds left. It's for the title, the 2026 ESE Hockey All-Star Challenge. Live here on ESE Hockey's YouTube channel. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Dylan Larkin, Emmett Finney, Alex DeBrincat, Zach Wawrinski, Trevor Zagras on the ice for Team DeBrincat. And they win the draw. Zagras on the pass of Wawrinski. Zagras now over to Cole Caulfield. Caulfield now. DeBrincat back to Caulfield. 20 seconds left. DeBrincat trying to feed Larkin. Gives it over to Caulfield, who mishandled it. Zagras, quick pass. DeBrincat shot. Just caught the helmet of Owen Lepak. Wawrinski now to Zagras. Zagras. The Larkin to Wawrinski. Steps out, fires just wide. 2 seconds left. Larkin, one last chance. Not going to do it. Team Barnes wins the 2026 Eastside Elite All-Star Challenge. Congratulations to Team Barnes on winning it. They have defeated Team DeBrincat by a score of 3-2. Congratulations to Owen Lepak and the Youngstown Phantoms. Ty Leo, the Tucson Roadrunners. Teddy Spitznagel, the Ottawa 67s. Cody Sokol, the Waterloo Blackhawks. Evan Silvakidis of the Tri-City Storm. Max Sasson, the Vancouver Canucks. Sam O'Reilly of the Syracuse Crunch. Logan Malieu, the St. Louis Blues. Andrew Gibson, the Milwaukee Admirals. Mason Bennett of the Springfield Junior Blues. And Blake Barnes, the Niagara Ice Dogs. That is Team Barnes, your 2026 Eastside Elite All-Star Challenge champions. A big thank you to Steve Alexi, owner, founder, president of Eastside Elite Hockey. Certainly appreciate Alexi, Laura Miller, the entire management and staff of Eastside Elite, our friends from the NHL Network helping us out today. Certainly appreciate our guys for hanging out with us here tonight. As Steve Alexi addresses the crowd on hand here tonight. So Team Barnes wins the 2026 Eastside Elite All-Star Challenge. As Blake Barnes of the Niagara Ice Dogs will accept the championship trophy for your 2026 Eastside Elite All-Star Challenge champions, Team Barnes. They have defeated Team DeBrincat by a score of 3-2. Once again, a big thank you to Steve Alexi, Laura Miller, the entire entire management and staff of Eastside Elite. A big thank you to everyone here in Rochester at Suburban Ice Arena. Our friends of the NHL Network helping us out tonight as well. Thank you guys so much. This has truly been an honor and a privilege. My name is Matt Preer, the voice of the Metro Jets Hockey Club. Tier 2 junior hockey and Tier 3 junior hockey. What a privilege to be able to call many NHL superstars' names throughout the course of the evening. Truly a dream come true. The Metro Jets, once again, Tier 2 junior hockey, the National Collegiate Development Conference, the NCDC, as well as Tier 3 junior hockey in the United States Premier Hockey League, the USPHL. It has been a sincere honor and privilege to bring you the 2026 Eastside Elite All-Star Challenge. And once again, congratulations to Team Barnes, your 2026 champions. Good night, everybody.